4 in 5 AI initiatives delivered zero measurable ROI in 2025. This is not my opinion. This is not a vendor spin. This is Gartner. 3 weeks ago, in front of a bunch of data leaders in Orlando during their Data and Analytics Summit. And here's what makes this different from the usual analyst noise. Gartner didn't just name the problem, they named the fix. They gave it a framework and they pointed directly at the technology that makes it possible. Today, I'm breaking down exactly what Gartner said and why the solution they are prescribing maps point for point to what Strategy has been building for over 30 years. Let's go. Gartner introduced a new framework at this summit that I think reframes the entire AI investment conversation. They call it return on intelligence. Yes, you heard it right. Not return on investment, return on intelligence. This is based on three main pillars. First one, setting organizational ambitions. Second one, strengthening technical foundations, which they actually refer to return on integrity. And number three, empowering the workforce. The reason this framing matters is the middle pillar, the second one, return on integrity. Gartner is saying that the organizations getting ROI from AR are not necessarily the ones with the most advanced models or the biggest compute budgets. They are the ones who invested in the foundations first. Yes, data quality, governance, semantics. You heard it, right? Semantics, the universal semantic layer. The organizations that skip the foundations and went straight into the AI tool, well, guess what? These are the 4 and 5 that I mentioned in the beginning. Let me talk about three main findings from the summit that every data leader needs to hear. So finding number one is that Gartner declared the universal semantic layer a non-negotiable foundation for AI. Their exact words are developing a universal semantic layer is now a must-do for every data and analytics leader. It's the only way to improve accuracy, to manage costs, to cut AI debt, and of course to stop costly inconsistencies before they spread. And they actually went further, predicting that universal semantic layer will be treated as a critical infrastructure by 2030. Finding number two from the summit is that 44% of the data analytics out there have already implemented the semantic layer. Another 48% plan to do so by 2027. That means right now, many organizations are still catching up on something that Gartner actually is calling critical infrastructure. So if you're not in that group as a data leader, this is your wake up call. Finding number three, they mentioned that by 2028, 60% of agentic analytics projects relying solely on the model context protocol will fail. And it will fail due to the absence of a consistent semantic layer. Again, the semantic layer being the main focus. MCP is the hot topic right now. Everybody talks about it, right? Every AI team is deploying it. And Gartner just said that 6 in 10 of these deployments will fail without a proper semantic layer. And of course, that's a major thing for us to consider. Their summary of all of this, well, in other words, without strong foundations, according to Gartner, AI may well stand for amplified ignorance, not artificial intelligence. Let's talk a bit more about the pattern that Gartner has identified. Basically, they observed across hundreds of conversations that organizations, they are building talk to data, natural language querying, conversational analytics. They deploy it, and at the end of the day, they couldn't get repeatable, accurate answers. But again, the problem is not because of the AI model was wrong. It's because the AI had actually no idea of what revenue meant in their specific organization. No idea whether active customer means the same thing in finance as it did in sales. In other words, the AI is confident, but it's confidently wrong. So that's a big problem, right? The semantic layer is the fix. It's that layer that connects the different business language to the data language. Once the semantic layer is in place, then every AI query, every agent, every dashboard, every natural language question runs against proper governed definitions. Revenue means revenue everywhere, every time, and that's what we actually need today, right? Also, Gartner made one more distinction that I think it's the most useful framing for data leaders dealing with like nervous executives around agentic AI. They said humans should be in the lead, not just in the loop. Yeah, think about it. Humans in the loop means AI acts and humans review. This is bad, right? Humans in the lead, on the other hand, means humans define the rules, the definitions, the governance, and then AI operates within those boundaries. A proper governed semantic layer is what actually makes human in the lead actually possible. And that's again emphasizes on the importance of a semantic layer. Now the thing is where Mosaic fits, right? Where does strategy fits into this conversation? Well, let me show you how the Gartner prescription actually maps directly to Mosaic because I think this is important, right? And the five things that Gartner actually prescribed, checklist by checklist, is what Mosaic or strategy was built to deliver. So first, Gartner said the semantic layer should be universal. It should not be warehouse native. It should not be platform specific. It should be universal. And that's what Mosaic is, right? First, Mosaic connects to over 200 data sources. It connects to databases, to cloud platforms, to files, to SaaS applications, on-premise systems, all of this under a single governed semantic layer. And of course, Mosaic is also part of the open semantic interchange. So it allows different semantic layers to be integrated inside of it. This is universal. Secondly, Gartner said that governance should be a path, not a blocker. Too many organizations today, they experience governance as a friction, the thing that slows teams down. Mosaic governance is structural. Security, access control, metrics definitions, all defined once and then inherited everywhere. In other words, governance with strategy isn't bolted on afterward. It's built in from the start. That's, again, not a path. It's not a blocker. I mean, this is the path, actually. It's one of the main features behind strategy. Thirdly, Gartner mentioned or said, as I mentioned before, humans should be in the lead. And that maps to Mosaic once again, because Mosaic Studio, the tool that helps you build a semantic layer, uses AI to auto-generate attributes, hierarchies, relationships, and lets users, business users, actually define metrics in plain language. So no need for YAML, for SQL, for engineering ticket, business analysts actually participate in the building of the semantic layer, not just consuming it. So this actually means or resonates with the thing of humans being in the lead. Number four, Gartner said AI accuracy through semantic context. So again, every query through Mosaic runs against a governed semantic graph. The AI cannot hallucinate a definition that contradicts your business logic. The semantic layer is actually the guardrail that makes AI trustworthy in production. This is really powerful. And finally, Gartner said that the market is heading towards ontology. In other words, more context, more relationships, more business meaning embedded in the foundation. Strategy is already moving in that direction. Actually, there are some technical parts of strategy that already solves that problem. That is already part of an ontology. But of course, strategy is also improving on that matter. It's part of what strategy is building on top of their semantic layer. So, in summary, the checklist that Gartner handed to a whole bunch of data leaders in Orlando during the Data and Analytics Summit maps point for point to what Mosaic delivers. And that's not a coincidence, right? Because that's 30 years of building the thing that the industry just admitted it needs. So let's summarize. According to Gartner, the organizations winning with AI aren't the ones who moved faster. They are the ones who built the right foundation first. So here's the question every data leader in that Orlando conference room was sitting with. And the question is the one that I want to leave with you, all of you with today. Are you investing in the model or are you investing in the foundation that makes the model trustworthy? That's the most important thing that we need to think about as data leaders. Because Gartner just said which one actually drives ROI. So if you're still building your semantic layer or evaluating one, make sure the one you choose is truly universal. It's not a feature of your warehouse, as I described in previous videos. It's not a capability of one platform. It should be an universal foundation that sits above all of it. That's what return on intelligence actually looks like in practice. So that's the summary of the Gartner Data and Analytics Summit. Hope you guys liked these thoughts. Feel free to share your comments as well. Hopefully, this content is useful. And of course, as I normally say, I strongly encourage you guys to subscribe to my channel, to share with friends, to like the video, of course. And I'll be looking forward, as usual, to be seeing you in my next corner.